night, you know. What, you got it on?
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, Mr. B.
You're welcome.
There goes Mr. B on camera. There's the famous Mr. B. Yes. Okay, Mr. B.
You're like
What
the,
happened
So-
to the clock?
What clock?
it's been gone for a
Clock is
couple of
there.
weeks.
The clock is right there.
It's right in
Oh, I
his
can't
face.
see
It used to be
You don't
there.
need to see it. You're the guest. You take
I-
orders from me.
I
the
like
host.
to see it.
Yeah, well,
So introducing Rhett Palmer, the mayor of the Airways, introducing Larry Semprevivo as a guest, and Beverly, and of course Rhett's pointing to me. This is Joe Semprevivo. So welcome to the Rhett Palmer Show, folks.
yes, the show about nothing.
It's a
Morning.
Seinfeld show.
Oh, it's just starting. You wait and see.
Yeah, it livens up.
Okay. I thought the most presidential speech I've ever heard from Trump was the other night. Larry?
It was fantastic.
Come on, talk about it.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. He was warm, he was cuddly, and he was factual. And I felt confident. He was like my
Did you
grandfather.
say factual?
Well, I think so. I think he was over there. He said, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And I believe he's going to do those things. Unfortunately, I thought it was very disrespectful for the Democrats not to stand up on some of the occasions where they should have.
That's pretty normal. That's pretty typical for both sides. The Republicans don't stand up if they disagree with a Democratic president's
Why
comments
were
and
those
vice
women
versa.
dressed in white? That was some specific protest.
But they were dressed in white.
Yeah, there was a group of women there all dressed in white.
It's not a protest.
Put these down like this. What's the matter? Headset's not working? Come on. We can't do this on there.
There's nothing.
There's nothing on the headsets? Let's see. Yep. No. Sounds really low. Yeah, you gotta turn my mic up here, Mr. B. Yeah, check. Let me hear you speak.
Hello.
No,
1, 2, 3.
all the mics are too low. In the headsets anyway. How does it sound over the air, Mr. B?
Just wonderful. Don't worry about the headsets.
Okay, now everybody put your headsets. Would you put your headsets down?
Okay.
Jeez, for crying out loud, you're causing trouble and mayhem in here.
So it's getting back to content rather than headsets and microphones.
Yeah, please. So
So
let's go on
Well,
about Trump.
when the Trump was honoring the fallen hero that unfortunately the gentleman got killed on that mission, everybody that was applauding it, half of the Democrats didn't even stand up to show respect for her loss. You know, I thought it was disgusting to watch the Democrats be so anti-American. I thought, because some of the programs he wants to do is to help the American people. We're one group. We should all be together. And Churchill put it. I think Churchill put it the best way. He said, "Divided we fall, united we stand." And he was correct, because when he united England, they fought against the Nazis, and we have to unite this country to fight against
Well, you have
ISIS.
to remember, when Winston Churchill was speaking to Parliament prior to World War II, he said, we've got to stop selling these planes to the Germans. They're up to something. They called him an old fart and told him to retire.
That's true.
That's
But
right.
then
And
when they swore him in,
yeah,
then
things
he
have
said,
changed
"Wow."
quite a bit.
he was right.
Winston Churchill was right. We need him.
Well, the same way we're selling scrap metal to Japan, and then they turn around and use it to kill us. Greed is a horrible thing, and
and this is the thing, is the short-sightedness that you see in America. I was on a conference call last night with Congressman Posey. He called to do a forum for his constituents, and he just, they dial your number and you listen in, you can ask a question or whatever. I'm listening to the people attack.
How do you submit a question? By typing it?
No, you just hit 0, and then Congressman Posey, if you get called on, Congressman Posey calls on you and says, Separate Vivo household or whatever household, and then you just ask the question live, and then he talks to you and you can answer back, etc. But I got to tell you that some people brought up questions or points that were very short-sighted. For example, why don't we just allow our gates to be open for all Muslims to come in? Muslims are wonderful people, and I worry about the racism, and I worry about xenophobia, and I worry about, and you hear all these things, and you say, and then you hear about, import. It's okay to bring all this stuff in from China. And so I say to well, wait a minute, let's step back for a second and let's analyze this. Carter banned people from Iran from coming into the United States,
Yeah.
and they make
I'm
this a
tired of
Republican.
apologizing
Yeah,
to the liberals. You know what you're doing right now? You're apologizing to the liberals for Trump being a president. That's
No,
what it is. Look, Carter did it. They've all done it.
Yep.
Even Clinton said we need to secure the borders, etc.
Yep.
Bill, let me tell you something. I'm really getting sick of this apologizing. It's like apologizing for believing in Jesus.
Well, the point is that
You hate Jesus. Admit you hate Jesus. You'll have to deal with it later.
it's short-sighted, and that's what I'm concerned with. I'm concerned with the short-sightedness of a lot of people. They look at, well, why not allow goods to come into the United States and just flood the United States? You can't survive in the United States. No economy can survive long term on a service industry. You can't. If you're servicing computers, dishwashers, televisions, and air conditioners, that's great. But that's not a job for every single American from long term. There's only so many air conditioners that can be fixed. You need to have manufacturing in this country.
And we need something to sell in order to bring money into the United States.
If you want
It's simple.
If you want to collapse an economy or a country, you simply cut off your supplies to that country if they don't have a manufacturing base. Look at World War II. Look at what we did as a nation. We built. We even sent our women into factories when our men were out fighting to do clothing and to do ammunition and to do planes and tanks. That manufacturing predominantly is outsourced to other nations. When you look at all the airplanes and you break down the components of a plane that's used in a military plane, they're not 100% made in the United States. The parts come from all over the world. When you rely on another nation, you do not have a defense. You do not have a nation.
During the Second World War, all the people came together. I was a little kid then, about maybe 10 years old, 12 years old. I remember
you were a little kid
once I was. And I remember doing uniforms for the servicemen.
Yeah.
But they would send you uniforms, you would take them home, and then you would take the threads out and get them ready to ship them back so the soldiers would have them. My mother, father, we all sat around and do that.
Why were there threads?
After they sew them, there's threads in there that have to be taken out of the uniforms and make sure the buttons are on correctly and everything. So we did that as volunteers. So this is the things that when the country comes together and works together, this is what we need right now.
Well,
our country is divided, and it shouldn't be.
It's the same thing that happens when we have a hurricane.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden there's no electricity. Then you call up your neighbor, or you don't call up your neighbor, you see your neighbor, and he says, well, I've got a stove, and I said, well, we've got meats in our refrigerator. They're going to go bad. Okay, we'll bring them over. We'll have a barbecue together. You supply the heat, I'll supply the meat.
Yeah. I
Heat the meat and eat.
I'd like to get Beverly's take on this. You watched the State of the Union.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, as you know, I didn't vote for Trump, but I tried to have an open mind. And I saw a different person last night, and it bothered me.
The night before last.
Oh, yes, not before last, okay. It bothered me in a way. That's not the man that I saw 9 months ago.
No,
okay. So what are you saying you're seeing?
So I think his advisors have told him, tone it down. And the word was tone. And I respected that. But is the real Trump going to emerge again? We'll see. And I'm trying to be optimistic that maybe he realizes he has to have.
I think this is the real Trump. I'll tell you what. Mm-hmm. I'm a New Yorker, okay? Mm-hmm. And I moved down here and started to acquire the more genteelness of the influence of the Bible Belt, which is north of us, but nonetheless, there is a more peace that prevails here. And I went back for my grandmother's funeral, and I was surprised when I was staying with some friends up there. I'm walking down the street, and all the sad faces that I saw, all the brusque people, and they're just fighting each other just to get to the candy stand or get coffee in the morning. It's reprehensible, it is. So, I think that Donald Trump has been pushing for his position in life, trying to really ostensibly impress his daddy. I think this is what he's trying to do, and now he has reached a level where else can he go? He doesn't have to fight anymore. He is the president. Now it's time to show his ability.
Can he maintain that?
Yes, he can, because he is now in a position. He is now in the leadership position. And finally, in America, we have a leader.
Well,
I agree with that. But I think what has happened, the realization came to him and said, wow, I'm the president of the United States, and I have to act like the president.
You know what I would do if I was president of the United States? I'd go, oh my God, we're in trouble, Forrest.
I think it's a little different when you have when you're addressing Congress or State of the Union.
Yes.
It's a prepared speech. It's probably telepromptered,
Of
and
course it is.
yeah, and so it's completely different than off the cuff, a completely emotional speech, which
The
lacks
microphone is not close enough to you.
sense.
You gotta move that
And
microphone closer to you.
But I think he touched on basically a lot of topics. He said something about the women in business and so on. He said about the ghettos, that he's going to help the blacks. I think he said basically he said everything right for a change, and there was nobody that he left out. And then he did plead, in which he pointed and looked directly at the Democrats and said, "We have to work together." So he showed a willingness that he was ready to work with them.
But they're apprehensive, because so did Obama. I can remember it just like it was yesterday. President Obama saying we need to all work together.
what he said and what he did were two different things.
And what the-
Obama said that.
And what the Republicans say and they're going to do when they do is different too.
First of all, what completely different in this administration than last administration.
Yeah,
Let us remind you
Yeah.
that
Your friend Ted was in the audience. You know,
when
you
when
and Ted.
Obama was president and he put forth his nominations, Republicans, for the most part, pushed his nominations through. They interviewed them, they did the confirmation process, but they got pushed through. They did not say, not one Republican said, I'm refusing to go to the inauguration for Obama. You had 50 Democrats saying, I am not going to the inauguration. These are petty things. They're, it's their right not to go. But it shows to us, all Americans, hardworking taxpayers, that they don't have a willingness or a desire, period, to work with Republicans. And it is highlighted and underscored with Obamacare, with the Affordable Care Act, when Nancy Pelosi stepped up and spoke and said, you will learn what's in it after you've read about it, after you read it, after it's passed. 2,900 pages. And here's the
why
thing.
would anybody agree to accept this?
Well, I'll tell you why. There's a
Why?
history behind that. With Hillary Care, under Clinton's administration, it was a single payer system, and they pushed that through. And they allowed people to read it prior to the vote. And you know what happened? American people said, I don't want it. It's horrible. And when they did that, it got shot down. Under Carter's administration, a single payer-like system was pushed through. It was read prior to vote. It failed. So when you start looking at things like this, they didn't want it to be read, and the Democrats knew it, so they held it from the people intentionally, because they knew if they read ACA, it would have never passed.
Mhm.
And look, healthcare is not perfect, but I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
It's like any business.
I doubt that you'll tell me one thing, but okay.
If you opened up,
Microphone.
if
You're
you
gonna,
open,
you
I'm
know,
not touching it.
you got to move closer to my microphone.
If
Yes, face
you
the host.
if you opened up all 50 states,
You don't have to look
if-
at Beverly.
I like looking at her. She's smiling. If you opened up all 50 states and you told the states, submit your health insurance proposal to the state of Florida, and now you have not one or two competitors in the state of Florida, but you have 50, 60, 80, 100, because each state have multiple ones. You know how competitive it would be? It would be so competitive, our premiums would go down per month, and our deductibles would go down because everybody would be vying for your business.
Well, I'll give you an example.
Sure.
What's wrong with that? Because you're not going across.
Wait, what's wrong with competitiveness?
No.
Oh.
I'm saying what's wrong with the system right now.
Oh, okay.
Because of Harold, my son-in-law.
Yeah.
Right? He came here. He's from New Mexico, and he has Blue Cross in New Mexico. Well, now he's here, and he has to change his Blue Cross for this state, and now he's not covered. There isn't any doctors that accept his Blue Cross in Vero Beach. No.
Well, Joseph and Ted, it's a sad, sad tale. I saw Ted's face on TV, and it sure looked pale. But I'm glad he's not president, and I'll tell you why. I can't stand Ted's voice, a squeaky and high. Woo-hoo. Oh, this is the mayor of the airways coming here from the old time radio show here, where our favorite flower of the day is Martha White Flower. All right, we got to take a little break. Don't forget to go up to Billy Bob's gas station today and ask for the discount you get from listening to the mayor of the airwaves. Okay, I'll see you for a hamburger out of CJ Cannon's today for lunch. You, me, and the sheriff. Okay, we'll see you there.
You know, you have to understand why many of your Republicans were, not just deciding to go to the inauguration, because I don't think Trump acted like a Republican. He was nasty. His personality came through.
Yeah, but look, all the Democrats aren't going. 50 of them, for God's sake. I mean, you've got to unite the country. How could you work together? What do you think? More of yourself, or do you have to sacrifice? Say, let's think about the country itself.
You know that guy David Brooks?
We're at war.
Had a show here on Fridays.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing 24. Mix 24/7. You two can continue talking.
You're on Facebook.
Oh, anyway. And I look at it that way. We have a sick country.
Want to go outside?
We have war, and we say, okay, let's get together, and we have to fight this war to win, because they're coming here and killing us.
I'm
saying let keep coming. Well, I don't care if 100 come in and they're good people.
5
You
minutes,
only
7
need
minutes.
1 or 2 bad ones.
Do you believe it's
8:26.
Muslims, or who do you believe it's coming
Why did
here
we go out so
killing us?
early, Mr. B? We have
I believe it's
5 minutes of
radical
ads?
Muslims.
We had
You gotta
353
realize
ads.
the whole group
2607 is when we had to be out.
believe that we are infidels and we should all be killed. This has been in
You
their
went out too
since
early.
the day that their country was formed. They believe
What'd you
that
say?
we are bad people. Going back to the Crusades.
2607 is when you
So
should
they
have
look at it that
stopped
way.
for
How can you say
353
they're
an
bad
ad.
people if they want us
But you
dead?
went out early
If this
before
is
that.
in
I
their
gave you 30
religion.
seconds and told you to stretch.
Okay? How are they going to mesh with us?
Yeah.
Shane
You're
told me
gonna say,
on
"You're my
Thursday and
neighbor, but I
Friday,
want you
the
dead."
day that we make up
You see your
ads
child?
for
I
a
want that
loss.
child dead.
Terrible.
And you got to think of that. But the Democrats don't see it that way. How could you flood your country with people who want you dead? Would you bring in the Germans during the war to kill you? I know they want to kill us. Or the Japanese say, I want to torture you and kill you all.
Hey, Dad, I think that insurance plan for the television is my He just called me and said he's going to be at my house in.
I told him he's got the wrong address, 999, he's got to go to, because it's listed at your address. And I told him that.
Now this should be down like this.
I told him it's 999. Tell your wife to
You
send
know?
him to my house. He's got
How
the
can we
wrong
do
house.
that? I know we have to.
He
turn
puts
this
it in
thing
a
up
computer.
a little.
Hey, it's Joe Semper Vivo again. Yeah, I just want to tell you, you're going to 999 West Polo Fields, right?
Hey, we're on YouTube. Take it outside, please. Thank you very much. Big showtime going on here. In the jungle, the peaceful jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. I just haven't got it in me today. You know, those days. Some days you just don't have it.
Well, that's true of
I
everything.
just ain't got it in me. I ain't feeling it today. I'm usually bright and happy, but I'm feeling kind of gray. I just ain't got it today. I can't tell you why. Maybe I should go over by a palm tree and just lay my head down and die. Whoa,
I'll quit.
Probably 5 or 6 minutes. It's 8:29.
It's interesting. As much as I have talked against Trump, there's a part of me that's part Republican. I believe in some of the philosophy.
Okay, hold on a second. Which part?
Which part? I believe that we should be very strict about letting people into our country. There's no
Which
question.
part of me is Republican?
One
Some
thing you
might
brought
say
up
my
that
ass.
was in the law, going back years ago when we
Hey.
brought immigrants into this
You.
country,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that they must support
What do you want,
themselves.
cowboy?
Oh,
They
How
must
you
speak
doing?
English,
Hey, how you doing,
and they
man?
must simulate.
right.
You know,
We abandoned that.
How are your horses?
Now they can
cattle?
take it and
horses, cattle.
they can
Huh?
become an American
Cattle.
citizen in any language.
Mhm.
We have to
I
support
sold
them because when you
16
came to this
head
country, there
so
was no
far.
benefits.
You sold.
I
You
know.
just bought them.
And the president
Yeah,
just mentioned
I
it.
fattened them
We
up
have
and
to
I
go
sold
back to the original rules.
You're kidding me.
How can you say
How many months did
when
they
you,
get
you
fatten
bring
them
in
up?
these people
9
and you have
years.
to spend
That's all.
$400
So I get
billion
them
And you
dollars
fatten them up
to
for food.
support illegals, you're
Yeah,
draining
no, I
our
sold them to
treasury.
a
and
place that
bringing
fattened
up
them
the
up
national
more, and
debt.
then,
Mhm.
you know,
Doesn't make any
Go to
sense.
the
You're paying
farm.
them
Mhm.
to stay here
I'm gonna go to a
illegally.
feedlot after
Yes.
this place.
And when you
Yeah,
give a
one
Okay,
driver's
so
license
how does
to
this
them,
whole thing work?
it's illegal.
So you buy
Everything
a
you do
skinny
is
cow,
illegal.
Mhm.
Why should
and
American
then you build it up to a
taxpayers
certain
pay for
level.
illegals
Mhm.
so they can
Now,
live
why
a
don't they
great
just
life?
get the cow when it's at that level instead of buying
When
it
you
through
have
you?
struggling
Too
people
much space
who
and
don't
time
have
to do
enough
that.
food for a
Because
senior
if
citizen,
you're talking,
Okay, how many
he
cows?
don't get a
16?
free phone, a senior
no, I bought
citizen.
30.
He don't get rent subsidies.
33.
How
He
many
don't
did you
get a
sell?
paycheck
I
without
know.
working.
16.
He
Yeah.
worked,
Okay.
but these
So
people
you
come
16.
get
What do
on
you
that
pay for
free.
each one?
I'm not
So
doing
why
it in
should
my
you be-
profit margins?
Mhm.
Come
Fine,
on.
but
I
how
made
can
at
the
least
American
forthcoming.
citizen
What the hell?
pay
You're gonna be
everything
dead
for
someday.
people coming free? It
Jeez,
doesn't make
stop hiding
sense.
everything. What?
But the
About
Democrats want this.
When did the
$411.
rules drop?
Okay, 411
You know?
each.
Mhm.
That's
A
what you
little at a
paid for.
time, as the
What'd you sell
Democrats
for?
got more power, they relaxed the rules,
656.
relaxed the rules,
Okay,
relaxed the rules.
6.
So it's not just the
50.
president, it's
Isn't
the
your time better
Congress.
spent?
It's everybody.
Okay,
The
so
whole
that's,
system
what is that?
is
Is it,
there.
huh?
All the
245.
safeguards that,
Okay,
that
so you
our
made 245.
forefathers put in place.
Okay, times
We're just
16 times
forgotten.
10 is 2,000. So you made 3 grand.
Because everybody wants to, oh, we
Isn't your
should
time
do
better
this, we
spent
should do that, we
working
should
on
help
cookies?
everybody.
Mhm.
Now,
Like, see, he said, we
but
put trillions of dollars
look
into
long
foreign
term.
countries
So
to
what you
build
do
their
is
infrastructure.
you cull
in order to
those
fail it.
16, you sell
What
them
do you
off,
take
and
care
then
of
what you
first?
do,
Your home.
the ones that you're
Would you
keeping
rather
all
feed
get
your
bread.
children first?
So then every
before you
year you have
spend
a
the
recurring
excess
income.
Mhm.
Think of it like
somebody
a
else?
dividend
Or would you
system.
take it from your
Oh,
children's mouth,
you
give it to
breed
somebody
them.
else,
Yeah,
and let
so
your
you
child
give them
Do
bread.
you
and
have
that's all
anybody
we're
that helps
doing.
them out at your birth, or does
But
it all
there's
happen
gonna
No,
now?
it
be
happens naturally.
consequences.
There's some
If we
cowboys in
stop
town that are
giving
really
How
people
awesome that
these
will help me if
benefits,
I
How
they
come
can
humans
hang out
need
in the
help?
street.
No, you
Because
stop
the
giving them
Indians used
benefits,
to
they
go
go back
squat
where they
out in the
came
field,
from.
Oh,
right?
you're talking about farms.
Humans
Oh,
can.
they
It's
go
just
back
that
where they
we're
come from.
civilized.
I'm
and we
saying,
want to
let's
be
feed Americans.
unlike the
Let's feed
Indians. I
them.
mean, we
Give
have
every homeless
hospitals
a
and
place to live.
you know, and
Because we're
medical
doing it
care
somewhere
now
else.
to
Let's
reduce
do it for American people.
challenges.
Mhm.
Let's make our country strong. Let's make sure that everybody has a chicken for the.
Think of it this way: every
you know,
single
and
year,
before, what do we have?
if you have 35, if you have
people here in Vero
Hello?
Beach.
Call Marshall Frank. Yeah, keep talking.
If you have 33 head, every year you have 33
Oh, yeah, we
babies.
have all these feedback.
Pardon me?
Every year you have
But we're not
33
solving the
babies.
problem. Why
Every
are
10
they
months,
not?
you have 33
Let's
babies.
give them
So every 10
jobs.
months you get a check.
Let's get them help.
And if you wait longer,
So if you have
you
33 babies, then you can
And
keep
take
the
a
whole
percentage of
thing.
their pay
Yeah.
in savings.
Then you're making
Let's
656
help them.
per.
Because we're
Times
One
Sure,
minute
sure.
till you're open.
but you can hold them until you get $1,500 to $2,000 each. I just
And
flipped
that's the
those
one
because they were
word
the less
everybody gets.
desirable
They're
cows.
illegal,
Right.
you know? And
Yeah.
they look,
I sold
how do
these
you think
cheap.
all those parents felt
If I would have
who
held
lost
them,
their
I would have got
children
1,300,
were an
1,400 each.
illegal convicted criminal that
But I wanted to
the
get rid of
cities let loose and killed their children? How do you think they feel? America failed them.
What do you call him, Marshall?
They
Right.
He's a
failed
book
those
writer,
people.
right?
Mhm.
And there should be guilt on
Call
the
Gary
people
Wheeler.
who released those.
Mhm.
They're guilty of murder, as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
because they let them out.
Right.
We've got to have a better sound in my headset. I mean, it's just a really sucky sound in the headsets. Well, we got to get it straight. I don't want to do this every day on the air. We got to be able to have the numbers. Take a picture where they are. Then it's never going to change. The headsets need to be put back in those
You're talking about headsets or mics?
headsets.
Beverly likes hers up. The host that was in here yesterday had me turn it down.
So take a
Okay,
picture
that's
for
what I'm
Rex.
saying. Take a picture the way I like it, and then whenever I'm on, put everything back to the way I like it. And by the way, I am more important than all these other goofy hosts.
I know.
Hello?
Get ready.
Hello? Gary? All right. We're on the radio. How you doing? We have Joseph Sempervivo here.
Good morning.
What's the matter?
We're on the radio.
We're
Good morning.
on the
Good
radio.
morning, folks.
I'm-
We're on the radio.
I'm not in the mood.
Yes, you are. You're
No, I'm not. I don't
loving
know.
and
I was when I drove here today on my Vespa, but something, I don't know. I
You're
sat
such
down
a
and I said,
happy. You're such a happy guy. You're lovable. I love seeing you.
Yeah.
I love to. You know what?
well,
So
I'd
you
love you
adjust my
better.
mic
if
to
you-
make sure everybody hears it.
Yeah. Would you please sit down or move the mic up? If you're going to stand there, then move the mic up. You know?
You're a mic
Jeez.
Nazi.
You know? I'm going to have, you see you and
You're
your
a
dad?
soup Nazi on
You see-
Seinfeld.
yeah,
You're the
I'm a mic
Nazi.
Nazi. Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to separate you and your dad if you don't behave yourself. He'll have to go back over here where she is and she'll sit in the middle.
Wow.
Hey, what do you put me in this? I didn't do anything.
I know, but that's what they always say in school, remember? It's always you're the kid says, I didn't do anything! School is in session!
Beverly was
Let
saying.
me have a bell here, Mr. B. Round two.
You know, so my dad, Happy Pappy, and Beverly, who's in the studio right now, along with Rhett Palmer.
Hello, Beverly.
Good morning.
My dad and Beverly were having a side conversation,
I noticed.
and I really loved what they were saying. Beverly was saying, you know, I kind of agree with Republicans on certain things, and Democrats with others. And then I wanted to hear what you agree with Republicans and what you disagree with Republicans.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's very
You said
interesting.
part of you is now Republican. Which part?
Yeah, which part?
That's the
Physically-
breast part.
Physically, my ears. No, my ear. I like the premise that family is important, and I like the premise that we have to go along with all the rules, but not overrule. And I like that because I'm listening to businessmen. Our eye doctor said the restrictions are driving him crazy.
Yeah.
And now I understand that. And I think that's important. So that's another part of the
Well, look at the small businessman. You know, the small businessman has no advocate, and it's just very upsetting. And you know, what's the small businessman to do? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just they've got everybody tied up with. Well, listen to this. Something I wrote the other day.
You got small town, local businessman's blues. I got the small town, local businessman's blues. Well, city hall's dragging their feet, and I'm just singing the blues. I call call somebody on the phone, but there ain't nothing they're gonna do. Those people at City Hall get their paycheck each week. When I want my licensing, it seems like they're all asleep. Well, I got them small town,
Small town.
local businessman's blues.
Boom, 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 boom.
I want to open my door for business, but seems there ain't nothing they're gonna do.
Now listen up now. Listen up now.
Perhaps if their paycheck was put on hold till we can open the door and get something sold. Trying to get licensing, dragging their feet. Everybody down in City Hall's fast asleep. I got the small town, local businessman's blues. Tell me, child, what am I gonna do? I got the small town,
Small town.
businessman's blues. Child, tell me, what can one small businessman do?
Now, I just got a text, of course, Mark, the hair guy, says that's his song. That, you know, and it is true. It's so hard. Look at the guy next door. I haven't heard hide nor hair. Remember, he was so excited about opening up this new wine place here.
Yeah.
Notice he's not around. He hasn't been around for a week and a half. You know why? 2 weeks. You know why? Because I know what happened. He thought everything was going to be fine. Everybody, you know, you get all excited about opening your business, and I haven't seen hide nor hair of him. And you know what? It took Dagwoods. Have you seen Dagwoods? I really need to go over try one of the sandwiches. One of the over across from Strunk Funeral Home. I was told it took them over 2 years to get the licensing to open up the doors for a little silly sandwich shop.
And now
they're a family that needs to make a living.
And now it's getting worse. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
One of the things, as a manufacturer and a job creator in this country, I understand the importance of having spotless factories and clean floors and surfaces, etc. The FDA created an act now that affects every manufacturer as well as every restaurant owner.
What?
If you serve food, if you make food,
Yeah.
if you repackage food or package food or bake food, whatever it is, you have to have every employee in that building has to have a food handler's license. And that sounds on the surface, oh, that's great. That's, you know, it's food safety. What that means is as a 16-year-old kid working for Subway needs to go get a license now. The health department
Oh my
checks
God.
the license.
Come on.
The FDA, let me finish. The FDA checks on the license if you're a business selling across state lines. And here's the thing. That employee has to sit in the class or online, pay for it themselves. Now, here's a 16 or 15-year-old kid trying to get a job. They're not going to do it. Now they're stopping. This was done under Obama's administration. Now they're going to stop getting the license, not going to work on these jobs. The license is good for 2 to 3 years, right? If you're the company and you don't have an employee license, it's $1,000 fine.
Why would they? Oh, that's why they're doing this, so they can make
for
money.
revenue. So here's the worst part now. So I'm a manufacturer, cookie manufacturer. We don't have eggs, we don't have dairy, we don't have crustaceans or seafood, meat or cheese in our building. For my factory team members, their license encompasses dealing with oysters, steak, cheese, meats, dairies, eggs, all these things for restaurants. Alcohol, they don't have anything to do with that in a manufacturing facility. But yet these individuals have to sit there.
Because you've got idiots.
Yeah.
Then I'll tell you what an idiot. Now, I didn't call Obama an idiot when he was running in office and everything, but I'll tell you what. This really put me over the top. When he was saying with Hillary, Trump said he was going to save the jobs of the Courier Air Conditioning.
Yeah.
I happen to know them up in Syracuse, New York. Okay. And so he's going to save their jobs. And Obama said, what's he going to do? Wave his magic wand. Those jobs are gone. And you look at this video, and I realized right then my heart sunk, and I realized we've had a person in a position who's not a leader. Mm-hmm. And when I hear Bob Woodward right over here at Riverside Theater say, Obama thought he could run the country on gentleness, niceness, humility, whatever. I don't know about humility. He mentioned his own name in his 51-minute speech saying goodbye. He mentioned his own name 75 times. He mentioned himself 75 times. 75 times!
Yeah.
That's almost twice every minute, okay? Anyway, so the point is, my heart sank because he didn't know what he was doing. He said, what's Trump going to do? Wave his magic wand and save those jobs? They're already gone. They're gone. There's nothing we can do about those. And you know what? He did save 850 jobs.
He sure
because
did.
Trump knows how to negotiate. And once my heart sunk and I realized, you know what? I think Obama, and I'm not so sure about the Bushes and all of them together, have all become professionals at getting elected.
Yeah.
And I don't really think they know what the hell they're doing.
Well,
And
you
they're
gotta
not true
realize-
leaders.
You got to realize what did he ever do? What job did he ever hold?
Community organizer,
re-
state
he
senator,
really-
senator.
He really
Same thing with Bush.
right.
All Bush did was make a little good because his connections with Daddy.
And
He made
that's it.
he sold that ball team, made 13 million, 17 million, whatever it is, and you live on that the rest of your life. And then he's going, well, I'm going to serve and run for office. Great, but you know, you're not a businessman.
I'll tell you this, and here's the
Look
thing.
at Iraq. What the hell were they thinking there? And I
Here-
just met the general. I was with the general that was there. He said that Bush, George W. did not push for that. You know, they all made a decision together. But he
Well-
said we were wrong. We had misinformation.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know, when you're a job creator and you're responsible for making people's payroll, you know, paying people, you think completely differently than that it was a community organizer on the dole using taxpayers' money to live day to day. And here's the thing: when you look at this food handler's license, and I'm focusing on that for a second just to prove a point.
Yeah.
When a person leaves or quits that restaurant, that employer now cannot hire someone, based on my understanding, unless they have a food handler's license. What the heck are they to do in all the little restaurants around here? March 1st, by the way, was the effective date for this act across the country. What are they to do if, you know, Riverside Cafe or any of these places, somebody walks out the tides, right? Somebody walks out on shift who was sick or something. Well, we need a replacement person. Can't get them. Do you have your food handler's license? Oh no, I don't. Sorry. Go.
We got to close down shop
Yeah.
because we haven't got a dishwasher because the dishwasher is the most important job in the whole restaurant. If you haven't got a dishwasher, I had a friend of mine who used to own restaurants, very wealthy guy, successful. He went into the dishwasher, says, you know, you have the most important job. I do. Yeah, without you, we haven't got the plates to serve, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
the pans
exactly.
clean to cook, blah, blah. You're the most important job here, and it is.
Yeah.
People don't realize how important that job. I was a dishwasher once,
Yeah,
Bob, you know.
so was I.
Dishwasher.
So was I.
woman. Really?
Absolutely.
Hey,
When,
with dish-
when I had a restaurant, when the dishwasher didn't show up, I went and washed dishes.
I actually enjoyed washing dishes.
I washed-
find
I
it-
did too.
To
I
this
washed
day,
dishes for you one night.
I
That's
find
right.
I find dishwashing therapeutic.
I
If
do,
I'm
but
really
you know why?
upset, I clean the house and I do dishes. Other than that, I don't do them ever.
Oh, I love
I think when you're washing
You like
dishes in a
cleaning?
restaurant, all you think about is the dishes.
nice.
And you're oblivious to everything else. Now, nothing around me is important, but those dishes come out nice and shiny. Really. So
Yeah.
it's relaxing for
Are
me.
you washing
when I did.
dishes for your wives?
I do it.
I do, yeah, occasionally. My
Yeah.
my mom loves a spotless home,
Oh, God, yes.
and she worked with my wife when we got married. You know, to
Well, that's why when
do
I
that.
took a
And my
tour
wife-
into your father's house, I said, "When are you guys moving in?"
Yeah, yeah, and Mem loves to clean, and she loves to learn from my mom, and to keep a clean place. And with 6 kids running around, we always shake our head like, how do you run after them cleaning up because they're so messy? But she does it,
I don't know how your wife handles 6 kids, and I know people that have 9 kids. I'll tell you what, though, my friend who had 9 children, he told me he was a pastor in Hopewell, Virginia. He's the one I went to Africa with years ago, and he says it's actually easier to have more children because the older ones take care of the
Take
younger
care
ones.
of
You've
each
got
other.
built-in, we're
Until
free
you
to
get
go.
to that point.
Yeah, I think that's true when you see them later in life.
Poor
When,
little Joseph.
when you're 16 years old, 18 years old, I think it does become easier when your eldest is that old. But I also think you have when they're all young, they're all cared for. Like our 10-year-old is a diabetic, so we're always keeping an eye on his
And that's your
sugar.
eldest, 10.
Yeah, he's the one who just won the spelling bee again,
Oh,
second year in a row.
Really?
The Scripps National Spelling Bee.
Let's call him up and see if we can stump him.
You got to give him the 5,000 words that were in the spelling bee. Stuff,
And your wife is teaching them. They're
Oh,
Yeah,
homeschooled.
homeschooled. Yeah, they're all homeschooled.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah, he could actually spell that one. He loves that show. He loves that movie. Yeah.
Oh, we went to see Dick Van Dyke, remember?
Where?
It was in California.
I took my mom, my dad, and my wife.
Oh.
That's my wife's favorite actor. So
Did you get to meet him?
Oh,
Yeah,
we stayed with him for hours and hours.
yeah, we had little Joseph with us, and I took Mem out
You
there.
know, he
to
was
meet
on
him.
the phone with me, and he treated me. He kept calling me Mr. Palmer.
Oh, he's such a
I
gentleman.
said, you know, it's like
He even
Mr.
danced
Dick
for
Van
us.
Dyke.
Yeah, he did.
No.
He did. He danced for us.
He's
We spent
limber,
hours
man.
with him.
Yeah.
What were you doing with this guy?
My wife. What? So
Did
when
you have to pay for this?
No. When we were dating, when my wife and I were dating, we went on long walks and we would talk. And I asked her favorite actress. I mean, she was actor and actress. She was 20 years old, and I was like 33, and that's when we got married. But right before, she said, Dick Van Dyke. I love watching the Dick Van Dyke Show. It's one of my favorite shows. Lucille Ball, Dick Van Dyke. So when I remembered that, and like a couple years later, after we're now married and we have a baby, for Mother's Day, I took my mom and my dad, my wife, out, and the little Joseph out to California and got it arranged for them to meet Dick Van Dyke because my wife just loved, and it was a Mother's Day gift from my wife, and she freaked out. She saw him, and she's like, "Oh my God, I love you! I've been watching you since I was a little kid."
What a man!
Oh yeah, and he danced, and
No, wait. How did you get this private meeting?
yeah, I just called people that I knew in Hollywood and stuff, and got it worked out.
I was supposed to interview him, but I held off. He said, "Well, we'll do it over the phone." I said, "No, I want to come up and meet you during the set." So he's going to invite me up, but it never worked out. And then so I blew it. I should have taken the interview on the phone, and then as an additional interview, got the one.
He's
But
so
he's still
agile.
alive.
He's so agile. I'm telling you, the way he danced and
Oh my
everything,
God.
Well,
you would never
dancers-
believe it.
Dancers live long.
Oh, I'm
That's a
telling you.
great exercise.
But he is just so
Do you know
down
that
to earth.
dancing, ballroom dancing, is the only known exercise to thwart dementia?
How about that?
Yeah. What were we talking about?
Oh boy.
I need to dance a little more.
There was a movie that reminds me of the movie Internship, where Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson's at a restaurant with this buyer, a watch buyer that owns like 6 stores, and they start laughing about Alzheimer's, and the watch owner says, "Oh, it's so nice to laugh about Alzheimer's." And every time somebody laughs about an Alzheimer's joke, I just cringe when I hear that.
Why?
I didn't think it was funny in the movie. I didn't think it was funny now. I think
It's not a funny disease
I think a lot of
because
people are
horrible
suffering.
it's terminal. It's terminal in every
Absolutely.
incident.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's why.
Well, we were talking about cleaning house, washing dishes, and all. Well,
Yeah.
since my wife had the open heart surgery, my daughter Palma, she's here from New Mexico, and she prepares a meal once in a while, and then I prepare food, lunch and dinner for my wife and all. And I don't care where, she said, "Did you remember to put the garlic in that? Or did you do this?"
Yeah.
I can hear her from the couch. "Did you do this? Did you?" And I say, "Yes, I did." She said, "Don't forget, you saute the onions first before you do this."
Mom says all this.
Oh,
No
yeah.
problem.
Oh, God, yes.
Now I want to say that if you look at Larry today, he has an emblem on his shirt. See that? Take a look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. But from a distance, you know what it looks like? It looks like McDonald's French fries. Think about it.
It looks like what?
McDonald's French fries. How
It
does
does.
that look like McDonald's?
Because it looks like the red packaging, and those the thing up at the top, the little flames that look like the French fries.
Oh my
Everything
God, it looks
looks like
nothing
food
like
to
It
me.
looks
Yeah.
like McDonald's French
He loves
fries.
food. He just loves food.
No, that's a crest.
I realize that. I know what it is, but from a distance, it looks like.
Well, you
Look,
think
I'll
those
show you. Let me
McDonald's
take
will
a
hire
picture of
me?
it here. Let me take a picture of it here.
Now you got to get a food handler's
Okay, here you
license.
go. See? See? Now look. Look. It looks from a distance like McDonald's. See?
It looks like French fries. It looks like a box of French
Yeah,
fries.
see?
I'll be a son of a gun. Yeah, because it's red. Okay, McDonald's, you can hire me.
Hey, did you see that movie yet on the founder of McDonald's?
Oh, Ray Kroc?
Yeah,
No, I haven't seen it.
good movie. Really good movie.
Yeah, that's a
I
heck of a
haven't gone to
story.
the movie in absolutely years and years and years.
What? You haven't been to the movies?
No.
Oh, there's so
I
many
stay
good
home.
ones there.
Are there really?
Oh,
Lion.
sad.
Why? I
Lion,
watch them at home.
Manchester by the sea. Oh,
I wait till they come to TV.
It's sad. Larry is so old, he's no longer groovy.
Hey,
And he
that's not
never goes to the movies. He's sad and depressed
No, I'm not. I'm a happy
Rhett's a
man.
big booby.
with McDonald's on his vest.
Oh, Massachusetts.
He's got this crest.
That is so
It's
funny.
got a red square, and then it's got this little fancy gold stuff coming at the top. From a distance, it looks like he's wearing
It really did.
McDonald's French fries. And do you know that that's their number one seller?
McDonald's French fries.
Yeah, that's how they make their fan. And then you got to admit the fries are good.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
to.
they are.
I was gonna bring up something. There's in the media they've been saying quite a bit lately how boycotts don't work, right? And I found this to be hilarious. So the liberal, the socialist media has been coming out and saying, oh well, pro-life people have been boycotting, the anti-transgender people have been boycotting Target, and it goes on and on and on. The Syrians, the people that want to secure the United States have been boycotting Starbucks. They've been saying all these things. And these boycotts don't work. Matter of fact, Target and Starbucks and Macy's are all thriving. And then what do you see when you watch stocks? Target's down. Earnings for fourth quarter plummeted. People weren't shopping.
Macy's,
Well,
Target
Yeah, but they're
stores.
blaming that on Amazon.
Right. But here's the thing. That shows you the efficacy, the effectiveness of boycotting. How come Starbucks, Starbucks is growing has been
Still?
growing leaps and bounds. Yeah, they're still
Still?
doing international growth to
Can't
China
even
and Asia.
stand their
Oh
coffee.
yeah, the coffee sucks. But
How
but
do
anyway,
they do that?
but here's the thing.
I know. He made it a prestige item.
There you go.
It was all image and
It's
a
image.
feeling that you're in there to hang out and have fun. It was a
30
culture.
seconds.
It was a culture, which was smart. Schultz did a good job of that. But the point of all this is boycotts do work. So with the transgender issue, Target better learn, or else because they wouldn't do the
Let's start
transgender bathroom.
let's start some competition. We had Burger King. Why not Mr. Palmer's Coffee Cafe of Relaxation? And we charge $30 a cup. And anybody walking there, go, wow, they must be successful because dummies are all seduced by prestige.
well, it is a shame. Penny's is having a problem.
Oh, Penny's closing hundreds of
Macy's.
stores.
It's the internet. That's what it is.
It is.
Well, you know what? They got to the point where they got fat and happy, where they start overcharging for everything. I went in there, bought a pair of pants, $75, $100.
It's 8:56.
You go
Is this,
somewhere else,
9 o'clock
you
break
pay $30.
for news?
I mean,
So
like,
you go
and
find
it's the same
make it
manufacturer.
Go now.
They got
Go.
too fat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They're not competitive anymore.
But the American workers are demanding more for an hourly wage.
Okay, yeah, but also the American workers produce more. That's the thing. Their production is higher than other countries. You got slave labor. They can do things off cheap, like little kids putting shoelaces on footballs and so on, and they're getting a penny an hour. So there's the differential. They're not paying.
You see the McDonald's app?
No, that's completely different.
You have a McDonald's.
Oh, there it is.
See what comes up when you were.
You're the only guy I know that has the McDonald's app.
Hey, you get free coupons for all. You now show your phone to the girl in the booth.
I don't do
She
coupons.
scans it. She
Yeah, I
scans it,
know.
and you get a free burger.
I don't shoot.
You get a free burger.
Yeah, you buy one get one free, but it's got to be on your app on your phone.
I don't eat McDonald's. No, it's a chain that these stores that have been anchor stores for so many years are going by the wayside. It's a damn shame. But you see, the economy, people are looking to save $1, and they don't want to go out because a lot of people are afraid. I don't go to the mall anymore because we got so many characters coming to that mall. It's a different group of people there now. And I used to go to the mall just to walk around and
Just to
enjoy.
hang out.
Yeah, but now there's a lot of riff-raff looking people, kind of rough looking.
Right.
And I don't want to be exposed to that. I really don't.
Mhm.
I don't feel safe in the mall anymore.
Really?
And when you don't feel safe, you don't go.
I know you pack a gun.
I know I do, but still, I would hate to ever use it. I'll put it that way.
Mm.
And I just read a horrible story. This fella came downstairs in the middle of 3 o'clock in the morning. We see somebody in his living room going through stuff, and he shoots and kills him. 17-year-old boy. Here, his 14-year-old daughter snuck the kid into the house, and he shot him mistakenly because he thought he was a burglar, and he feared for his life because he didn't know what this guy in the dark what he was going to do. But here, the daughter, 14 years old, sneaks a guy in their house at 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, where are their brains?
Right.
What would you think? Someone prowled downstairs 3 o'clock in the morning to your house.
Right.
And I feel bad for her. I feel bad for the man who pulled the trigger.
Mhm.
And I feel bad for the family who lost a son
Mhm.
over something stupid.
Terrible.
You know, so I don't know. I'm old fashioned. I like where things were before, where my neighbor who raised corn gave me the corn and I had tomatoes. I gave him tomatoes, or I shared milk that I had from my cow, and everybody helped each other. The barn burned down. We all chipped in and built the barn.
Mhm.
Where those days are gone. And now it's distrust. You don't trust your neighbor next door. They don't speak English. You don't understand what the hell they're saying.
I know.
We're so divided. And neighbors aren't friendly like they used to be. Everybody in my block knew each other, knew the kids,
Mhm.
and everybody looked out for each other. Never had crime. Never
Hey,
had
Gary.
a burglary. Never had any of that. Never had a burglary.
What are you doing?
We need more front porches.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
always lived in a house that had a front porch, and we would talk to everybody.
Oh, I
as they
thought you
went
might
by.
talk to us on the air about your opinion of the,
Talk to each other.
State of the Union the other night.
It just, I'm just so I'm dissatisfied with what our country has become.
Yeah.
I'd like, if I had a magic clock and turned it back.
Well, hold on. Call us up. I'm going to put you on the air after the news, all right?
I love this country,
Can you call us?
and I could afford to live anywhere, and I want to live
Yeah,
here.
772-778-3500. 778-3500.
I'm a little away from neighbors
Okay.
and so on because
Mhm.
Gary
I want to
Wheeler's.
be free a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to be free.
I agree.
Too much government. We can't do anything. You can't even do things on your own property anymore.
Well,
Yes, Rhett.
I live in a condo complex, and people don't extend themselves.
Former Sheriff Gary
They
Wheeler.
stay in their little nest, and that's it.
I think we I don't know. I just don't know what happened. I just don't know what. We used to have, once a month, my family had a band come to the house. Once a month. And we would have a party once a month, social.
Mhm. Yes.
And then we rotated to, like there was 12 families. And we rotated every month to a different house.
Mhm.
And we'd have cake and coffee and music and dancing. Now, we didn't spend any money, really. We baked our own goods and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But we had a social life
Mhm.
and had things that you had. It was everybody from the same Providence in Italy
Right.
that we got together.
Mhm.
And it was a cultural thing too.
Yes.
And it was wonderful. And then on the weekends, my dad would get the truck and load up all the kids in the neighborhood, or cousins, there's 30-something of us.
Mhm.
And we go down to the park and we go swimming and we'd have a big barbecue.
Mhm.
And that was our Sunday, or take all the kids crabbing. You know,
Every
and
Sunday.
no TV. No TV. We didn't have TV.
No games.
No games.
I know.
We had a social life,
Mhm.
and it was with family.
Mhm.
And that's what I loved growing up.
Sure.
I loved that.
Mhm.
And we never were alone. And it was just,
You're lucky you live next door to each other.
well, I do it now, yeah, because I built a house. I sent food over to Joseph all the time. We cooked this. We send it over. Steak the other day, extra steaks. I always extra cook it, and I send it over to them, and it's really cool.
Hmm. Oh, yes.
Yeah, and now the Joseph's got these cattle, and he bought that 10 acres there.
Hmm.
He's every night he goes, he has bonfires.
Hmm.
He built a pit, and all the kids they roast marshmallows and the hot dogs on it.
Oh,
So
wow.
he's out with the kids every night. And last night he was playing chess with the
And
kids.
that's important, yes.
Yeah, so you bond with your children when they're little,
Right,
and then you have something later on, like when they get older.
right,
Because if you don't bond when they're little, you'll never.
right.
You're not going to do it when you're a teenager.
No.
It's impossible then. So, but not for anything. Now that I'm getting older, I know I have to start pulling away because when I die, it'll be too hard for them.
Oh, my goodness.
Because we see each other every single day,
Oh, yes,
and I'm worried about.
you're the patriarch.
So I'd like to.
Hmm.
I don't know how to handle it. What I did with my dad and mom, I was very close to them. I moved to New Mexico, 2,000 miles away,
Did you?
deliberately,
Mhm.
because I couldn't. I knew if I was there and they died when I was there, I wouldn't be able to handle it. So I got myself ready for it.
Really?
And I did that, and it was hard because I knew no one in New Mexico, nothing.
So how are you preparing now?
I'm not, and that's what the problem is. And I'm thinking about that now. I'm considering moving away, and he would go nuts. But I'm actually considering moving away a bit and back off a little.
Would Josephine agree to that?
What's that?
Would Josephine agree to that?
Yeah, she feels that it would be devastating for them if I was to pass on. I don't know if they can handle it. We're too much together, too much. You see, we're more father and son, but we're so close. I'm with them every single day.
That's so precious.
It is. It's wonderful, but I'm looking at the downside. What happens when I die?
But
I got to live forever.
but you won't necessarily go first. I know.
Oh no, it's true.
I worry about that. I don't want my kids to predecease me.
Well, yeah. Hopefully, I'm older than my wife, but you never know.
Hmm.
And I would never live with any of the kids. I wouldn't put the burden on them if something was to happen to me.
That's a real concern.
No, I don't want to be a burden.
Right.
And the kids will never, as far as they're concerned. Oh, you got to be with me. No way. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to the kids.
I know. But what you have is very precious.
Oh, I know that.
And it's so
I'm
good.
blessed.
It's so good for the children.
It's pop up everything. Pop up this, pop up. I'm worried about little Joseph because he's so close to me.
Is he?
He thinks
Yeah,
I'm
bear
a
us
hero.
well.
He thinks I can do anything. I'm the best. I'm number one for everything.
Right.
Pop-up's the best.
I know. It's not going to be easy.
I hate when you think about it.
What?
Nothing.
What were you saying? You were speaking of death?
Oh, God.
Were you?
Stand by. Open is on.
Stand by. We're talking about closeness.
Dial this number,
It's wonderful to love, but when you lose your love.
532-9649. 532-9649. Got it?
Yep.
Are you happy?
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to our broadcast today. What's going on in your life? What's going on in your life?
Well, we've been having some wonderful discussions during the news, and I learned so much from your guests. This is just a great experience.
Such as?
Such as? Well, I mean, yesterday you had the two journalists, the former
No, what are you
head
talking about right now?
about life and relationships.
Okay, that's all very vague. Give me some specifics. What
All
are you
right,
talking
I
about?
think you ought to bring
3 times to get the question out. Oh!
believe we ought to bring back the front porch. Do you know a front porch pulls a neighborhood together?
It does.
You sit on the front porch and people walk by, you say hello. It's wonderful.
And that's what we're talking about. Years ago, we had a neighborhood,
Mhm.
and everybody,
Yeah.
the neighborhood, we socialized.
Now nobody wants to know anybody.
That's true. You can live next door to the neighbor for 20 years and never had two words of other hello, goodbye, and that was it. But in the old days, we used to sit and we did everything as a neighborhood.
That's true. Lloyd, do you remember the days when we had front porches?
Yeah, absolutely, and love those days. In fact, I've got one here. We sit on our front porch every afternoon with a adult beverage and watch the people go up and down a little dirt road.
So what's up, Lloyd?
Well, number one, and I apologize if I missed it. Did we have a place allegiance to the flag by the most beautiful family in Vero Beach, the children singing
Hello?
this morning?
I don't think we did. Did we have the Pledge of Allegiance yet, Mr. Okay. Oh, that's fine. Can you play the Pledge of Allegiance from Joseph's family? No, that's not Joseph's family.
That was me.
That was you.
Just kidding.
That was John Wayne, man. That was John Wayne. That was not,
That was my imitation of John Wayne. Doing
Okay.
it.
So we're going to take a little break here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to work on our sound. Okay, could you turn my headset up, please, Mr. B? I'm going to see if it's my headset or my mic. Put my headset up. We're going to go through this methodically. Check, 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 check. There. That sounds much. There you go. Now, was that my headset or is that the mic?
Headset.
Are we on break?
Okay. So
Your mic's clipping.
Huh? Mic's what?
Your mic is clipping.
Mic is clipping. Okay. Well, then we need the headset louder, and now we need. Okay. Larry's mic is far too hot. Turn Larry's mic down.
Headset or mic?
Mike, turn his mic down. It is too high. Okay. No, mic is still too loud. Oh, come up close to your mic and talk. Oh yeah.
Too loud.
Okay, yeah.
How's it sound?
Turn him down a little bit. Okay, would you speak into your mic, please?
1, 2, 3. Okay. Is that better?
All right, here's Joseph's. Now, okay, my headset up just a hair. You can turn my mic down, you can turn my headset up. All right. So, okay, now we have Gary on the line. Okay. Hi, Gary. Hi, Gary. What's going on?
I've just been here talking with a couple of customers, and what are you doing in Florida? How's the weather down there?
Couple of customers where? Tell our listeners where you are.
Wheeler's Bagel, Jackson City, Tennessee.
Uh-huh. Okay, so we were discussing off air about Trump's speech the other night, and what's your opinion of the whole thing?
Well, obviously, I was quite impressed with it and quite excited about it. I loved what he said. I immediately, after the speech, started reporting NBC, but CNN and Fox News.
You take over.
And then over the next day or so, I went back and forth watching them just to get a feeling for what the attitude was. And of course, that night, even CNN had a couple of people who were opposed to Trump saying some positive things. But the next day, when it settled in, if you watch CNN, for instance, it's all negative and it's destroying the country. And obviously, I'm making a point here and not being totally answer. But if you watch Fox News, it's uplifting and we're headed in the right direction. So, you know, it boils down to watching CNN particularly, and so it's very apparent that philosophically, the national news media with her extension
Always is today.
are
All my guests.
yellow dog Democrats. So it's just interesting to watch the commentary and between the two.
So did you listen to the former governor of Kentucky and his retorts?
Yeah, well, I got part of that. Yes, I did. I see that he's a little confused because now the Democrat, the Republican, and an independent, I guess. So he's kind of all three. The only thing that he hit on, I guess, was apparently, according to him, Obamacare has worked in the state of Kentucky, but it doesn't appear to be working from what I see or hear from media sources around the country. And people that I know that have experienced it doesn't work with it. You pay a high premium, and it's a revenue source because if you're young and you don't even need health insurance, as a rule, the vast majority doesn't, you got to pay for it anyway. And if you don't pay for it, then you pay a penalty. So you're paying whatever it is, a couple $100 a month penalty out of your income tax. You still don't have insurance. But your deductibles are so high, it's just, it's not feasible. But it's there's no utopia out here. I hope they come up with something. I wouldn't want to see anybody that needs a doctor to have to go without, and I don't think they do in this country because you have health clinics all around, you have hospitals that are county owned, and in fact they can't deny anybody insurance. So, but I'm no expert on that. I just don't want to believe that. What I really don't like about Obamacare is the continued intrusion into our liberties.
Well, in what way? What do you mean continue?
Well, they come along and say, look, here's the deal, you gotta buy health insurance.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to demand anything from people. This is a capitalistic free society, and if people don't want health insurance, they shouldn't have to buy health insurance.
No.
So if they don't want health insurance and they don't buy it, then they should suffer the consequences. Now, people that can't afford it or indigent or whatever, I'm all for helping, but in all these health programs that the government has, there appears to be so much fraud that it's ridiculous.
Now, Obama, of course, he wanted this to be the one thing he was remembered for, and it's going to disappear.
Yeah, well, listen, my opinion about Obama is his philosophy about government and running a country is totally different than the foundation this country was built on. And I think it started with the weather underground back in the 60s with Bill Ayers, and these people found out that shooting police officers, blowing up buildings, killing people didn't work. So they decided to penetrate the educational system and start indoctrinating people over the last 50 years. And basically that's what they've been doing. Some of the people in his organizations were convicted of murder and went to prison. Now they got out of prison after 20, 30 years and they're teaching college students.
Wow. Do you know that for a fact?
Yes. In fact, when I was on, there's been a couple of them on television. It's factual. I don't know the woman's name, but she was convicted of murdering, I believe, a husband. But anyway, she got out of prison, and now she's a college professor.
It's ridiculous.
But yeah,
Well, that's America, though. You're free to restart in America, though. So that's the American thing, isn't it? Oh, wait a second. Who's the guy that worked? Who's the guy that worked with Nixon? And I interviewed him years ago. The little creepy short guy had his national radio show. Yeah.
But back to Gary.
He went to prison, you know.
But back to Gary's point. Hey, Gary, this is Joe Sempervivo.
Your mic's not working. Got to put it up. Put it up. Put the whole thing up.
Amen.
Hey, Gary, this is Joe Sempervivo.
Okay, we need Joseph's mic turned up a little bit.
I was going to say,
I have to retake that photograph. His mic needs to be up just a little bit.
One of the points that you're bringing up that's really important is when you look at Bill Ayers, didn't he detonate bombs in the street?
Yeah, you turn the headset up, Mr. B, not the headset. We needed the mic up. You got to do what I ask, all right, please? I want the mic up, not the headset, because now Gary cannot hear him.
Can you hear me, Gary?
No, it still sounds echoey. We need his mic turned up. Turn that mic up, the red mic. Okay, talk.
Can you hear me, Gary?
Now it's too loud. Can you hear him, Gary?
Okay. Well,
no, the lady yesterday could not hear the person on the phone.
Okay.
So we got a problem here. Is there some volume for the phone, for the person listening on the phone?
Gary, can you hear me?
There's
This
no
is
way
Larry Sempervivo. Joseph's dad, can you hear me?
No, see, he can't hear you. So in other words, the only mic that's working with people calling in is my mic. So.
Well, the point that Gary was making, that I think is really important, is that not only have they been convicted and sentenced to crime, it's the mentality behind the individual that's anti-government, anti-people, anti-freedom. These people went out and got bombs. Literally, Bill Ayers, who's the professor, one of the professors he was referring to, I believe had explosives, detonated explosives, and was, an anti-government person. So.
Can you hear Joseph now, Gary? Okay. Now we're going to hang up. We'll talk to you later, okay? Okay, thanks. Yeah. So, well, let's take a break and let's see if we can get this rectified, okay? Okay, we'll be back.
Yeah, I heard that lady.
Yeah, we gotta go over everything. I don't know what's going on here, but.
Calling Mike about the mics.
It happened yesterday.
Yeah, it did. I was listening.
There's some peanut butter pretzels on the table. Yeah. Hey, Dad. You need to be doing this prior to your show.
I know. I've asked for it to be done over and over and over again.
Well, you better go to your boss and complain.
Who's my boss?
Go to your boss.
I don't have a boss.
Well, then who's your boss? Look in the mirror.
The only person that they can hear is Rhett's mic. They can't hear anybody else's.
Happened yesterday, too.
And it happened yesterday, too. So I don't know if this is the way it's wired or what, but we need to know. Thanks. He's not answering. Turn those over, please. Then we get feedback, and I'm going to get blamed for that, too.
Okay, let's tell you what. What I need to do is I need to get training from Mike, too, so I can go over this thing. Let's go over. Let's turn everything down and start all over again. Which is the line for phone? Where's the phone? CJ Cabins, that's the place. Right there, overlooking the runway at the friendly home-style restaurant with food and service that will make you come back asking for more. CJ Cabins, call them 772-567-7727. That's 567-7727. Or better yet, go there. You'll be pleased. There's no other way to.
We all have that moment of clarity when we realize we have got to clear out the garage or attic, or finally start that bit of remodeling. Well, the Habitat Home Center Restore can help with that. You can donate your unwanted but still useful stuff. Just bring it to us, or we'll come and pick it up. When you're shopping for other stuff, be sure to check out the Home Center Restore first. You might just find a perfect sofa or perhaps some lovely cabinetry. It's always exciting hunting for treasure at the Home Center Restore, and the prices are great. So put the Home Center on your must-do list. To donate and to shop. And remember, when you shop or donate, you help Habitat provide simple, decent homes for families in need, right here in Indian River County. For your convenience, we're now open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're on US 1, Vero Beach, just north of 45th Street, East Side, or call 257-0222. Habitat Home Center is a not-for-profit.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Ice Cold Fresh Squeeze.
1 minute to studio.
The Hillgroves River Market is now open for business. Retail store hours Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on 9250 U.S. Highway 1, just north of 510 in Wabasso. January is Honeydew Month. The only time they're available. We're at Hillgroves River Market. Fresh fruit, vegetables, like
Somebody's here.
Hey. What's up doing?
Hey,
Hello.
Hey, what are you doing
Good
here?
morning. Right.
What are you
don't
doing
like
here?
visitors? You don't like visitors?
Sit.
Here we go. You see, I
Sit.
get caught up.
Sit.
Let me shut this
We're
down.
gonna have about a 6-minute segment to news.
I don't have any news for you.
Here we go.
So we got a good news.
Hi, this is the Rhett Palmer Show. We have Joseph Sempervivo in here. How you doing, Joseph?
great morning to you.
All right. How are we doing with Larry?
Hey, we're doing great.
And who is this that just walked in here?
Well, this is a friend of yours.
So you got to come in closer to my mic.
Very
please.
friend of yours.
Yes. How are you doing,
He has
sir?
an accent.
It is Evo.
He comes from Italy.
David Evo.
Evo David,
Evo David.
the artist.
I might think we're saying evil, but it's
You can
Evo.
say- Well, if you put an evil, it spells a little bit different, but it's better to say Ivio, that's the name of David.
What's the name? What?
David, D-A-V-I-D.
David.
I
Good
saw,
morning, good morning, I am here.
I saw some of David's artwork. It's very, very different. It's fusion, isn't it?
Yes, that's a fusion, it's called fusion is, and I'm having an art show right now at Emerson. As a matter of fact, it's gonna end tomorrow. March
Oh,
the
well,
3rd.
guess what starts today?
It started January.
But guess what starts today?
Yes.
Your magazine's coming in today with you on the cover.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Congratulations.
Via
to
the
you,
voice.
to me too.
Yeah.
Oh, and that is great. I'm dying to see it.
Whoever that contract we signed for $1 million, I bought his painting.
Well, you underline that fact. It could be. It depends on the value of your magazine and
There you
the
go.
number of copies
That's
you
right.
make worldwide.
Here it is, just came in.
Oh, look
When
at
did they come in today?
that. Yes. Oh, look at that.
Bring me a few of them, would you please?
And,
let me see this. Let me
good
see,
job.
huh?
They did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one of the paintings you showed me. I liked that particular painting was very nice.
Were you able to go to the gallery to see the art show? Or
I
not
can't.
really, because the wife.
My wife,
my
unfortunately,
sick. How she's doing right now?
she's doing very well.
Oh, great, great.
I wish somebody had told me
And,
this to come in.
And is she
Come on.
gonna come back to our club?
Yes,
So we can get together.
eventually once you
And
get better.
we can
And
see.
you know, we're having a festival at the Italian American Club on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
This weekend, right?
This weekend, yeah. I hope everybody comes out there.
No,
and support.
no. They
No?
used to pay us to promote them. They're not doing it anymore. We don't
Oh,
talk
okay.
about it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's going on there, but you
Okay.
know.
No problem.
Yeah, I noticed that times have changed in this town. They would all come to me, they want a promotion now. You don't. Sometimes you hear from people, sometimes you don't. They all want free publicity, but nobody wants to buy ads anymore. Can make one embittered,
I guess so,
So
because without the ads, you don't stay on the air. People got to realize
Yeah,
that.
pay rent. I mean, they're always coming free. If I was a
You can't stay.
billionaire, it's a community NPR is free because they take my taxes and they pay NPR while I have to go out and make. That's what happens with government.
Yeah.
Think about that. Government takes my money, my competition, and gives them money.
PBS and NPR. They have radio, both.
I think I'll go down and see Donald. Seriously, I got a couple of friends that know him, so have an audience with him and say, hey, I'm a little guy, trying to make a living. And why should the government help NPR?
They were anti-Donald too.
You sure?
Oh yeah. Well, because their reporters are socialists, so they just went for his jugular vein.
I enjoy it. I wish we could I wish they could be balanced, because I like listening to NPR sometimes, but
They think they are balanced, and that's the worst part. My dad said something great on our way over here. He was talking about media bias and how it exists. He said, but when you're talking to a person who's biased, they're never going to recognize that they're biased. It's just the norm to them. And that's
true.
the issue. Yeah.
like the fellow was on yesterday.
Yeah, like Peter. Paul. What was it?
Paul.
Paul, yeah.
Peter Paul
And
wasn't
Mary.
It wasn't Mary.
Mary couldn't make it.
Now, he really was a nice gentleman, but when he was saying that Fox News is really biased and all the other stations weren't, and I was like, you're not really listening. You're not paying attention to what's happening in America. And you know, everything that Donald Trump suggests, they take an opposite stance. They fight against it instead of saying, let's go all work together and fix the problems we have in America. And that's what they should do. But instead, they want to fight each other just to prove a point that Democrats are better than Republicans. Forget your Democrat, forget your Republicans. We're Americans.
Let's
make our country great.
Let's be united.
That's
Again.
right. Let's be united and put all the petty stuff aside, for God's sake. They're like children. And we elected these people. My God, what a mistake we made.
I don't know. It's just very dissuading. You know, I'm glad Trump is in there, but they have just attacked him relentlessly.
Oh.
You know.
You know, he didn't say anything wrong when he said about we had rules and regulations when you come to this country that you were not going to be supported by the government. That you had to have a sponsor, you had to speak English, and that's what made this country great. Now we changed it, and that's why we're in trouble.
Got to take a break, and then we'll be back. Today's broadcast brought to you by Center for Advanced Eye Care. 5 eye doctors that genuinely care about your eye care. Center for Advanced Eye Care. Evo, David, tell them we'll be right back.
Yes, we will be right back. Arrivederci. And
tell them that your painting is on the cover. It just came in on the new Vera's Voice magazine.
What a surprise. What a
Grazie.
surprise. Vera's Voice magazine here.
Grazie.
Today, this morning, J.C. Park.
You know, your magazine is really great.
The printing
really
excellent.
good quality.
Excellent quality, and I'm a printer. And this is
it is
damn good
The
quality.
colors.
Are you kidding
the
me?
right colors.
Your registration is
Layout,
perfect. Your thumbs are on.
Can I have a box?
I really
of
like
stuff
this.
to go down?
High quality.
So he advertised in your magazine too. Well, you got an advertisement
That is
here
always.
in your magazine also.
Always.
Yeah.
Remember.
Now he's gone. I hope I get my money.
It's sales.
This guy,
I'll tell you, no, you can't say it out loud. You're on Facebook.
no, that's off.
No, Facebook is on.
I don't see
It's
it.
on. Facebook is on during the break and everything. See the blue light?
Oh, okay.
Never worth anything.
Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. Never going to be there.
See that? There's 10 million of those
Mm-hmm.
different people.
Now, another thing, we can always get together. Another thing.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll see you at the club.
Okay, take care.
Let's save a hamburger for Brasho.
No, I gotta go.
We like-
See you, Evo.
See these people? They're so expensive. Fish, $50 a dish. Over there, I went there. $50. They're nice people.
So you like the quality of it, huh?
Oh, God, yes.
You need to tell Barbara that. Well, she could hear it. I know what you do. Let's record a little message, and I'll play it for Barbara later. Just say that. Say, I've been in the printing business. I want to tell you how good, blah, blah, blah. This would be good for her. She never gets to hear the pluses. Okay, ready? Hey, Larry, how do you like the new issue?
I love the new issue. The quality of the printing is excellent. The registration. I've been in the printing business for 20 years. I printed all kinds of magazines and everything, and the quality and the paper, they did a wonderful job. The layout is excellent too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it really makes
Sandy,
sense.
huh?
The ads are great.
Rich in
The
photos.
Oh, the photos are just beautiful. I'm very professional. I'd be
Even the
proud.
layout was great.
The
Don't you
layout was
think?
really great.
I would have never thought it was a local magazine.
No,
If I picked
this
that up.
looks like this was done in New York City. I'm telling you, this is really great. I love it.
Now, what do you think of the fact that we don't have perfect binding? Barbara likes this because you can open it up flat. If you have perfect binding, you can't open it up.
Right. This is better. It's actually less expensive too. So you save money by doing the stapling job.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if we should or not. I don't know.
No, I think you leave it alone.
Stand by. Open is next.
You got to be kidding me. Okay, now you can say that on the air. How's that?
Oh, let me shut the door. I got it.
Here we go.
Extra, extra, read all about it. The new Vero's Voice magazine has just rolled into town. Vero's Voice, the magazine Vero loves to read. How do you like our new motto under there? The magazine Vero loves to read. What's the feedback we get mostly from people who say, there's a lot of magazines they say out there, but yours is the only one we actually read cover to cover. Content, baby.
You know what I like about your magazine is going to sound really cheap. I love that your magazine is not an inch thick, 2 inches thick. That when you grab it, you can read it in a sitting and get the information that you need and understand about the community.
Well, that's true, and I like
Sufficient.
that you highlight some local things also.
That's
You
what I
know,
mean,
this
yeah.
is a community, and I tell you that the printing is excellent, and the photography.
And you were in the
Sure.
business, right?
I've been in printing business all my life. I've done Topps baseball cards, and I printed
You
actually
did?
money
The
for the
almanac,
government.
the Farmer's Almanac book. It was
I
a
did the
book.
astronauts, all the photographs for the astronauts
You did.
when they landed on the moon and everything. I
He did
all
Star
that.
Wars when Star Wars came
I
out.
did Star
The
Wars.
cards, the collector's
You
cards.
did.
I have
Oh,
an
yeah.
original roll.
Oh yeah.
He gave me a 5 foot sheet of cards, baseball cards like Mickey Mantle rookies,
Yeah.
all
Cool.
that. I don't have those, but I
So-
have
Yeah.
what was it? Close Encounters you printed
Yep.
of
I
the
did them
third
all.
kind and Star
Horse.
Wars.
Wow. So the fact that you would say that this is
I
really,
said, this is a high class New York style magazine.
That's
Really?
High
he
class.
knows what he's talking about.
And I
Thank
really
you.
I'm proud to be associated with it by just being able to read it.
well, thank you.
And you know what's fun about
Of
it?
course,
Sometimes I go to a doctor's office and I'm bored to death, and luckily I find your magazine. I can sit there and read
Seriously,
it.
they're in all the doctor's offices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll get round. Vero's Voice, the upscale magazine of choice. By the way, you can get it. You can also read it online. We have thousands of people now that read it for free. It's delivered to their inbox, but we can't send you a free copy unless you sign up. You have to go to verosvoice.com with an S in the middle. VEROSVOICE.com. Like us on Facebook, Vero's Voice magazine on Facebook, and
Can
sign up.
someone? I got a crazy question for you.
You can also read it at verosvoice.com.
Can someone that lives out of state
Yes.
pay to have this delivered to them?
Yes.
How would they do that?
They
Call
would
you?
yeah. And the truth is, we lose money on that. You know, we lose money on it, but it's worth it. You know, I mean, if they want it, we'll do it. We have to pay for the shipping, we have to pay for the envelope and everything. But they would get in touch with Barbara. It would be at Barb, BARB, at VerosVoice.com.
Can you do a paid service where they pay $50 a year
VerosVoice.com.
and have it delivered to their doorstep, and then that way would cover the freight?
Even at 50, I'm not sure we break
You'd
even.
make money. You would break even on it at least because you do
I think we
media.
break even about
You
50.
do media mail.
No one's going to pay $50 an hour, though.
A year.
Huh?
A year.
A year. What did I say?
An hour.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, but it would be like $4.12 a month.
Okay, Barbara wants to know if the new magazines are in the stand outside. Mr. B, Barbara just called me, texted me, wants to know if the magazines are in the stand outside. If you could replenish those. We also have to bring some down for.
I like that little thing.
What is that? Yeah, that's new in town. What is that? They have a couple ads on there. I just hope they keep it simple.
Like I heard they're going to do away with the
buses.
The buses here, right on the
beach.
On the beach.
They're going to do that instead.
No, they're eliminating them altogether.
Not enough.
Now they're
people
not
use it.
riders. They weren't riding.
But they're going to keep using them here, I guess.
I don't know.
But those big trucks they have.
Oh, the Go Line?
Remember I was on the side of the Go Line for a while. That
Yeah.
was good when it was just one ad on the side, big ad.
Oh, I remember.
Now they
that.
got all these little, and it's all jumped up. It looks like a carnival going
Well,
down
guess
the
what?
street. It's
Nope.
not the Vero Beach image.
Well-
they would never, ever, ever allow that in West Palm or Palm Beach.
Look,
never.
Well, you know what?
It looks horrendous.
The
It's
best
so-
solution
it's
for the
trashy.
The best solution for little signs on the side of a bus is little signs on the side of the bus. Because they're not going to be effective. Nobody's going to get an ounce of business out of it, and they're all going to stop doing it.
It's like people coming in and saying, well, I'd like to try advertising for a month. I said, sir, keep your money. I will be stealing it. Yes, now I will say this. Joey Seafood just started with us again, you know.
Oh, wow.
In 3 days, they had new customers, more than one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, their food's good. I've eaten there.
Dr. Plains, the dentist on the beach, he started with us. Within 2 weeks, he had 2 new patients, and he had 3 already established patients mention it. And somebody out there who's in Never Neverland doesn't understand
Well,
this
you know, I
world,
went over.
why that's important that people that are already his clients mention it, is that means we're reaching his target audience. You know, so there's Mr. B outside replenishing
Well, I
the
went
box.
over
This
today.
is such a mom and pop, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, how you doing out there, folks? Hey, Lloyd. And if you want to call back, Lloyd, we didn't get talking. Go ahead. You were going to say something, Larry?
Yeah, I was just going to mention that, you know, you talk about the power of your radio station and your magazine. I went over it and had gelato over the Kiss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you,
Sweet
it was
Kiss.
excellent. And you said it was good, and sure enough, it was excellent.
Well, we actually did a test. We were just there last night, by the way. We went to the new Jalisco. Have you been to the Mexican restaurant, the U.S. one?
It's great.
I think it's the best Mexican restaurant I've ever been to in my life.
Really?
It's that
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
It really is. It is exceptional.
And price right.
The only thing I like better is there's a Mexican restaurant south of Fort Pierce, just south of Fort Pierce, and they make a chili relleno that's really good, and it compares to the chili relleno that I had out in Santa Barbara, Mexico. Santa Barbara, California.
Well, that's Mexico.
That's northern Mexico.
Yeah, that's all Mexico.
I love Santa Barbara. I can
Yeah.
understand why Oprah is there. And it's really breaks my heart that Oprah's there and I'm not there.
Jimmy
So if you're
Reagan.
listening to this broadcast and your daddy left you $100 million, I think it's time that you were kind to, you know, God requires you to be nice to a talk host. That's not Oprah. And, you know, I'm not a billionaire like Oprah, but I want to live in Santa Barbara. So I think you should leave me. Can I be in your will, Larry?
Sure, we put you in your will.
You gonna put
My
me in?
will.
Yeah, I'll get $10, right?
He can take care of the hamsters
You know
for
what,
$1
though?
a year.
Thanks a lot.
You make paradise where you live.
Yep.
You know, a place don't make you happy.
No, not ultimately.
No.
No.
I'm happy I can live it. My wife said I can live it, and she can live in a trailer
Yep.
and be content.
Oh, yeah.
She can live on a farm anywhere.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
we've
yeah.
done it.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. It's funny as you get older, my prayer is I'd like to prosperous or do this, and I'd like to syndicate. I got my own dreams, you know. But it's like I say, God, don't do it, though, unless I'm going to be happy there. Because, man, I tell you what, I think it's worse to be unhappy and rich than unhappy and poor. Because at least if you're poor, you got to get out, put on your trousers, wash your face, shave, and get out there and work. And work is the best thing you can do for yourself, or give, you know. And how many of us get stuck in a rut, you know? I mean, you know.
To prove a point about money that doesn't buy happiness, look at all these movie stars that OD on drugs and everything else. Now they have money, they have fame, they're not happy. And you could be poor and be happy.
Well, you know what the thing is on the outside? Now I'll be completely clean with you. I always thought kind of like, you know, they're all hanging out and it's all, you know, they're together. And then you find out, and I've been in the homes and I've made friends. I'm shocked that when I watch the evening news, how many people I know personally now. And it's like, I've been to some of their houses and they go like, they sit on the toilet just like us. They have problems with their children. They have problems with their grandchildren. They have altercations. They have bills that need to be paid. It's like the guy, look, this is a true story. True story. In 2008, when we had the crash, there was a man who had $4 billion. This is a true story, folks. He had $4 billion. He lost $1 billion. He lost $1 billion. Can you imagine how it feels like to lose $1 billion? Okay, so he goes down. He tries to get a loan, like to leverage, you know, because everybody thinks billionaires have cash. And you know that. You guys have investments. It's not all cash. Okay, so he's trying to get a loan, whatever the details are. It's not coming through. He thinks it's not going to come through. He's disgraced his family by losing $1 billion. He goes downtown London, stands in front
Cover
of
your ears, kids.
You know,
Cover your ears, kids.
Cover your ears, kids, and stands in front of a train. Okay, the point is, he was focusing on the $1 billion that he lost instead of the $3 billion that he had. And this is the warped sense of thinking. Now, I don't know about you, but I can bring that right here to Vero Beach, Florida. Rhett's having a bad day. And I go, oh, you know, and I go, you're just like that guy. You're not seeing, you know what I mean? Why don't you go around the world? Why don't you go back to Haiti, Rhett, where people are living in little thatch roofs? Mm-hmm. I went into a thatch roof in Haiti when I went down there to feed the hungry. And I walk, this lady goes, Vinny, which means come. Finally I go in there, and she has nothing inside. She sleeps on a dirt floor, and she has a Macy's bag that washed up on shore, and it's hung like a keepsake on the wall. And that is the beginning. And on the floor, excuse me, there's one thing. She took a sugar cane and weaved a mat, and she sleeps on that mat. That's the extent of her entire belongings in the world.
Did you ask her if she was happy?
Well, no, I don't speak that good at Creole.
Oh.
But I hugged her and I helped her. I did some other stuff, you know. So.
But you're talking about money and happiness. Money and happiness. I was fortunate enough to have some actors as friends.
Yeah.
And you know, when they're in between jobs, they're miserable because if you have a job, you know, every week you go to work. Actors don't. Sometimes they wait 2 years for a movie.
Like that?
That's right. Stressful. Now they got to keep up the appearances. And they were saying,
how would you like it if you'd been a star in a movie? And I've seen this happen. And then a couple of years later, they're washing dishes or they're waiting tables.
That's
Key
right.
West.
Here's the thing that I love. I just crack up. You get all these celebrities that talk anti-wealth. You know, all the big ones.
They do.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're backing Hillary Clinton, anti-wealthy message. Beyonce. You know. James, the basketball player from Cleveland, all, you know, anti-wealth. We want $15 an hour minimum wage. The rich need to be taxed more. These are the people making $30 million a year, $50 million a year. And then they're talking about how bad the wealthy is. And, you know, they don't pay their own people $12 or $15.
That's just what happened with Hillary. Hillary was up there saying, well, Donald Clinton, whatever his name is, what's his name?
Donald Trump.
Donald Clinton.
No, that's
Donald Trump. Why Donald Trump was out making his first $1 billion. I was in here as your advocate. She had disdain and contempt for capitalism. So, you know, she's a communist. Yeah. She has disdain because she's always sucked off to Donald Trump. If people like Donald Trump didn't make a living, there wouldn't be any taxes. If there weren't any taxes, she wouldn't be living. Well,
look at Obama with his book deal. Him and his wife, a book deal, two books.
How much?
was it 65 million?
Oh my
And oh, we're going to
word.
give some money to charity, right? So here's this guy's message of poor, poor, poor. Income inequality, all this.
Wait a second. I thought it was outrageous when Hillary got 17 million for hers. 65.
It was either
combo?
45 or 65. I can't remember which
Even
one.
45.
Yeah.
You know, this is like always when I was a kid. I wanted a certain something. And then by the time I grew up and I have that certain something, then now they've raised the bar. I can't seem to catch up.
And I don't mind that he got that money for 2 book deals. I mean, I'm cool with that. But don't be the person that stands up and says, "Oh, there's an inequality. And these CEOs that make 500,000 a year, they should be condemned and
Okay, let me ask you-
incarcerated."
Yeah,
Oh, but I'm
yeah.
going to get 65 million for a
Well,
book deal.
hold
Okay.
on. Now I know people in the book business,
Right.
and you and I know some
Yeah.
of them together.
Right.
And I mean, so let's say they make a couple of $1 million a month, so that's 24 million a year. And these are top sellers.
Yeah.
Are they ever going to make that 45 million back on Obama?
Who knows?
Remember, it is a 2 book deal. Now, I remember I knew Stuart Woods when he lived in town here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Stuart Woods, I know he got $30 million for a 10-book deal, which means he got $3 million per book.
Right.
Now, as the author, though. So there's got to be a lot of money in this book business.
If you get a bestseller.
Yeah. I think
there's a lot of competition.
Well, you guys have a book.
Yeah.
Is it doing well?
Yeah, I mean, we were a bestseller list for a long time, and
Now, Obama in the library, every library in America will buy that.
That's
so
right.
They know they got a certain amount of money. Okay, we know this is coming in. Every bookstore in America is going to cover it, and we know. So, I mean, a lot of people can't wait; they're impatient. Now, what I do is I wait till the book calms down, and then I go to Books A Million. Like Bruce Springsteen's new book came out. Well, I waited for the Billy Joel book. It was $30-something. I waited. I bought it for like $7 at Books A Million or $5.
the
Same thing I did
discounting was
with
huge.
Keith Richards' book. I got that for $5 after it calmed down. So it's a matter of patience. When Obama's book comes out, it's going to be like $35. This thing's going to be huge. And and in his exit speech, he spoke for 51 minutes and mentions his own name, himself, 75 times. That's almost twice every minute.
Right.
I mean, this book's going to be a lot about himself. He does have, I didn't think he really had an ego problem until the end. I started really. I'm slower than most people. It took me 8 years to wake up.
No, I just think I don't care which president it is or which party. I think if you run for president, you have an ego. I mean, it's as simple as that. You're satisfying your ego.
You kind of have to be nuts.
Yeah,
you really got to think. I mean, who's really qualified to be president of the United States?
Well, I think there are some basic requirements to.
Yeah, manipulating the press.
No. I think one of the requirements really.
Good or bad.
One of the requirements is you should have a job that was never dependent on the federal government to begin with.
Why?
Well, because then you understand the uncertainty in your job, which makes you think entirely different. I'll give you a compare and contrast. Obama gets in and says we need to spend more money and starts cutting checks. Trump gets in, not even in office yet. He's on the phone with Boeing. We're going to save money. We're going to cut money on my airplane, Air Force One.
Yeah.
We're going to cut that down.
And he got him nervous. They went to see him before he was even inaugurated.
Exactly. So that's the difference. As a CEO, and I'll tell you this, even Donald Trump worries about his income stream as CEO of a company. Any CEO out there running a business, there are demands on that person that you could never imagine in your lifetime.
And people don't know it's easier to lose big money than it is little money.
Yep. And they're working 7 days a week, 20 hours a day.
That's why he doesn't sleep.
Right.
He's
can't
working
sleep as an
constantly,
executive.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, no, that's not why he doesn't sleep. He's the same thing as Joseph. I've known, that doesn't mean that some highly intelligent people need a lot of sleep, but there is a group, I've run into them throughout my life, lawyers and stuff. There are certain people, and you're one of them. I don't want to get his head too big here, but you need very little sleep, right?
Yeah.
How much sleep did you have last night? When did you go to bed?
2 hours and 15 minutes.
When did you go to sleep?
Oh, about 3.
In the morning.
Yeah, got up at 5.
I knew. Well, I got up at 5:45, and I went back to sleep for an hour. But I said, I bet you Joseph's already up. I thought about you because he has that ability. Now, you're not like Joseph.
No, no,
You and
no.
I both need more sleep.
I need more sleep.
How much do you need?
I need 7 hours. I
7.
like 7 hours.
I feel great when I go on vacation and get out of the habit of getting up earlier and I start to sleep into 9 o'clock.
Oh,
I'll get up.
I
don't.
can't
I do
sleep
not.
that
I don't need a nap in the afternoon. Now, how about you, Beverly? How much sleep did you? What time did you go to bed last night?
12 o'clock, and I'm up at 6:30. So 6 to 7 hours.
And you're okay on that. Well, you need a nap today.
I'm a night owl. I've got to stay up late because it's quiet.
Yeah.
Me too. I love the night.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you this. What noise do you have around you? It's always quiet, isn't it? Inside the house.
Well, she's also hard of hearing.
What is
And
that?
I'll tell you, I take my hearing aid out and I sleep so soundly.
Oh, nice.
You know what I put? I put stopples in my ears.
Oh, do you?
And now I have a little pillow, a mini pillow in all my vehicles. So no matter where I am, sometimes what happens now, and I don't know, probably a doctor said, I think it's because I don't get enough sleep. But all of a sudden, like, I'll be with you, usually in the afternoon.
Narcoleptic.
No, all of a sudden it just comes over me, exhaustion.
oh yeah.
And I go, even if I'm at somebody's house, I say, excuse me, I have to go outside for about 20 minutes. I go, put on the car, put on the air conditioning. I put the seat back. I do.
You know what that is?
You've never done
It's
that
a
with me.
vitamin deficiency.
It's also melatonin. Does it happen around 2 to 3 o'clock?
Every day.
Well, it's melatonin.
Except when I'm on vacation.
Well, you're
Because
You
you're
know
probably
something?
sleeping.
Like I was at a meeting last night at 8:30 at night, and I got done with the meeting about 9:30. Now, during the meeting, I was like, hello, then I get home, and it's 12 midnight, and I'm going, now you're watching Netflix. And I said, you're not tired now? Why? Now, I do know they say that the TV screen, the computer screen, fakes it out to your body that it's daylight when it's not.
Oh, you think like the casino effect?
They
Bright
say,
lights.
yeah, they say do not read do not get on your computer or your smartphone before you go to bed, or you won't sleep well.
I think it's important, regardless of your, your requirements for sleep, is to listen to your body. Because there's times that I'm exhausted, I will sleep. I mean, if I'm sleepy, I will sleep. And it was like a month or two ago, I slept 12 or 14 hours in over a weekend. I was exhausted.
I had something really bad happen. Where was it? Something, my muscles in the back, something was really bad. And they had to give me muscle relaxers.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, I was in terrible pain. Took the muscle relaxers, and I slept for 42 hours. I got up maybe once or twice to use the bathroom. 42 hours, and I woke up, and guess what? I was healed. The very best thing you can do for yourself. Oh, we're coming into the final quarter here. The very best thing you can do for yourself, Mr. B. Mr. B with the bell. Why'd you name him Mr. B? For the bell! Anyway, the best you can do for yourself is sleep. Get a good night's sleep. Today's broadcast is being brought to you by Center for Advanced Eye Care. 5 eye doctors that genuinely care about your eye care. Center for Advanced Eye Care.
Wasn't that your hip?
There was something real bad. Do you know that I fell off my scooter?
Yeah, I know, we were here. Remember? And I told you not to call the police.
Oh, yeah. You want to know what happened? Hold on. You want to know what happened?
What happened?
So that afternoon, I immediately had the pain in my, hey, I want, get.
I put it down, you were going to take it.
So, hey, Beverly, are you working today, or can you go have breakfast with me?
What's today? Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, you and I go to CJ Cannon's. We haven't been there in a while. Okay, listen. So anyway, this whole arm is hurting me. I fell on the right side. Remember, as soon as I stood up, it was hurting me down here. Okay. It got worse through that. I took the Advil, it got worse. 3 o'clock, I go up to Dr. Stepanek. He's a chiropractor out west at 32nd. So anyway, they said, he takes his lunch break late, 2 to 3. He'll be back in a few minutes. So anyway, he comes in. So this arm, I'm standing there. He goes, let's go at this. He goes, oh! He said, your arm was out of the socket. Then he has me lay down flat on the bed, and he takes this leg. He goes, 1, 2, oh! What was that? I said, that was that. And then he goes down, then he goes to the neck, which I wasn't having any problem with. Then he goes, I mean, loud noises. And then he takes the back, boom, 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 boom. I get up. It's all gone. Now, you've lived long enough to know you have an accident. I don't care if you get it adjusted. The next day you're in pain.
Mhm.
No pain. Nothing the next day.
What's his name?
Dr. Stepanek. He and his wife are both chiropractors.
I can't
Where is he at?
She's a
imagine.
pretty lady, too.
Where are they at?
As you go up Route 60, you take a right on 32nd. Remember Jesus died at 33? Right
Yeah,
at
32nd.
32nd. And right there, that's the building right there on the right.
So what'd you charge?
I
It's
can't
$45.
imagine.
Now, the first time I think they charged me 50 or 55 months and months ago. But now, every time I go, it's only 45. The 220s and a $5 bill. And boy, he is worth it.
I want to say my brother's having trouble with his neck.
Oh, he's good. They called me about advertising. And then I brought the price sheet and said, well, now we're going to go with social media right now. It's like, oh,
Everybody
gosh.
wants social media.
That's so silly. Social media. I mean,
So it
Rhett's
works.
Rhett's got a following
Yeah.
on social media. He's different, but a lot of people put these ads, just random ads on social media. They're just not effective. If you go to somebody like Rhett, he's effective on social media because people want to be there. They want to see what you're posting. They want to follow Rhett, celebrity-esque. And then boom, they buy what he says to buy.
The sad thing is if they don't sign up soon, I mean, she called me. I'm going to go get a chiropractor. I believe in chiropractic. I'd like it to be somebody I totally believe in. I mean, Dr.
It has
Clark,
to be somebody.
Dr. Clark I had for 20 years.
What happened to him?
He hurt too many big, heavy guys like me, fat guys, fat people. He hurt his arm, wouldn't heal. He said, well, I've been paying that insurance, which they no longer make available. He says, I've been paying it for 20 years. I'm retiring. So he gets, I don't know, $60,000 a year from that. He gets his Social Security. His house is paid for. I don't know if his house is paid for or not, but $80,000 a year. You know, if you can live pretty dang nice on 80 grand a year.
He was at your Christmas party.
Yeah.
When I met him.
Very nice man.
Yeah.
And very bright.
Yeah. I had a blast memory.
But you know,
when I
he
met
was
him. I
scared
loved
to
him.
come on radio. The first time he came on a radio show 23 years ago, he was a sponsor for 20 something years. He came on, he had it all written out. Well, Rhett, ask me about this.
That's
well,
me.
And he starts to read the thing, and I said, and he did, and I didn't know any better. And after that, I said, no one ever comes on my show reading again. No poetry. You cannot read on radio. It doesn't work.
It don't work.
By the way, your poetry, they're not readable on the phone. Okay? You've been sending different poems, and I can't read them. It's print is so tiny. Okay?
Well, then you take it and you can bring it, make it
We're on
bigger.
air.
Even so, your
Oh,
poems.
we're not on air.
Yeah.
It's over. Show's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we gonna? You're gonna go? You got something planned for 10 o'clock now? No, he doesn't have anything. But you want to stay for a
No,
few more
he
minutes
has
or
the
not?
financial
I gotta
pulse
go
at
tomorrow.
10:30. That's it.
Okay. Well, what could we
What's
play
the
for the next
next
half an hour? We could play the Wait again.
Stepanek.
No, write it down.
You know, guys, I'm really concerned about Mr. Trump. Everything is money. Money, money, money.
Here, write
I'm
this
concerned about our
chiropractic thing down,
environment,
please.
the
Okay.
pipeline going. I mean, I'm at the age, I'm an
Let
elderly
me get his
person.
number.
And to
Oh,
me,
really?
I want to enjoy life.
Of course.
But I find that
Call
money
Dr.
is a great
Stepanek.
emphasis for everybody. And it's very disturbing.
Well, I think the way to look at it is the reason why money is critical is the burden that it places when you talk about debt onto each person
Mhm.
is unsustainable.
Search the internet
So,
for
for
Dr.
example,
Stepanek
Right now, do you know how
Dr.
much money you
Stepanek
owe to the federal government?
in
right this
Vero
minute?
Beach, Florida.
$59,000. That's what you, Beverly Osler, owes to the federal government. You know how
Look
much
for
he owes?
Dr. Stepanek
$59,000.
in Vero Beach,
$59,000. You
Florida.
know, each of my kids, $59,000 each. Why? Where does that money come from? From the national deficit. That's huge.
Yes.
You know what it was under Reagan's administration? $1,000.
Mhm.
Since Obama's administration, he grew the debt, and so did other presidents.
Mhm.
Clinton did, Bush did. I mean, they all grew the debt.
Well, not Clinton.
Well, they balanced the budget at the end with Gingrich. But when you look at the acceleration of debt, it's unsustainable. So what does that really mean?
Mhm.
That means that the government, in order to collect that money, is going to have to cut back. They have to do an austerity program. They have to cut back all benefits to the people, including Social Security, taking it to zero.
Right.
Okay, which means you get zero money per month. They have to take welfare to zero. They have to take everything to zero to focus on that $59,000 to take that to zero. That's the only way to do it. If they did all that overnight, that $59,000 doesn't go to zero. We still owe money out in the tune of over $3 trillion. So it will take years of no benefits to any people in the country before we pay back our debt. Over 30 years of doing that. So that's why money is a big issue.
Mhm.
But you said something about the pipeline.
Mhm.
If you're pro-environment, the pipeline is something that you
very
would be
important.
interested in. You'd want the pipeline
Tell
being
them you heard about
pro-environment.
it.
Of course, that's what I'm
And the
going.
reason being is it eliminates
That's why I'm going.
spills.
Mhm.
The,
There's no more oil spills.
Mhm.
And there's no more trucks